Hello, welcome back to U.S. political elections. Today we're going to be looking at the stability of the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, as well as other 2020 statistics. So this map that I'm doing here won't be specified towards any given candidate. It's just the party in each state. So these are all the safe states as of right now. Then you have all these other ones. By the way, I'm doing this on like how many Democrats are in these states or whatever. So just like in general, if the state will go to them. Tends to be more in Michigan and Wisconsin. Iowa, slightly less. Virginia is now a safe state. North Carolina, I don't know where to put that exactly yet, so I'll save that for later. Ohio, it's a tilt Republican. Texas is there. Alaska, safe. Hawaii, slightly more in Arizona. Same story for Florida. South Carolina, forgot to mark that as a safe Republican state. New Hampshire, Maine, except the 2nd district. Georgia, more there, and slightly more North Carolina. So, in Nebraska's district. This is, a map based on how many, for example, there's a higher percentage of Democrats in California, so it's not going to flip. Same thing in Illinois, New York, Virginia, Washington, etc. But again, in a state like Wyoming, that's not going to go for the Democratic Party. So, looking at this, I am going to switch this to a pie chart so you can see. Obviously you want to have the most safe states. It obviously projects better long term. So with Republican having 125 and Democrats having 200, Democrats already have an advantage going into an election, knowing that they have more states that will not flip. These two columns are ones that could flip. This one most likely won't, which is why it's under likely. When you look at the percentage of the Republican Party that's under these two categories, it's pretty dramatic if you look at it, because that's a little over 80 and they have almost 220 electoral votes. So like, let's say everything under these columns would flip. Let's say there was a really bad Republican candidate and a really good Democratic candidate. So they edge out in all of these states, right? Okay, not Iowa. But obviously there's a huge shift. In an election like that, it would also uh, get more Democrats rallied behind them, because obviously if someone gets a bad impression on the Republican Party or on the Democratic Party, they will not vote for them, or are likely not to. But yeah, long term, the Democratic Party is definitely better off than the Republican Party. So this is the final map, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Then if we look over here, um, we can see that Biden nationwide has is leading. He's leading nationwide by a pretty safe margin. Since Black Lives Matter, you can see a huge shift for Biden up. Um, Biden used to be, the way they show this graph is really odd. Because they show it starting at 40, which is always an important thing to look for in graphs, like where it starts. Like here it starts at 4, which is a bit misleading, especially when it gets to here. It looks like this is a lot lower than just 3 points down. But since Black Lives Matter has gained traction, so has Biden's campaign. Obviously, none of the recent stuff has been helping Trump's campaign, so I think he's gonna have to do something in order to do that. So, a lot of the registered voters, um, yeah, the average 8.1. Now, if you took 2016 and outperformed, actually, I don't know what Clinton was leading in the polls by, um, but if you took what she led by nationwide, which she did lead, and then outperformed that by maybe 2%, that would be a win. Now, so this is a statistic coming from odds makers, apparently, and there's a 52% of Biden winning and a 40% chance of Trump winning. Not exactly sure where the other percentage goes, but yeah, no. It's probably like, oh, Pence becomes president or whatever, which is highly unlikely. Because I would assume Trump gets kicked out of office or whatever, um, dies, you know, just anything that would bring him into office. But I think the pie chart is pretty good at representing how these two numbers, that's 233 that the Democratic Party has safe and likely, which is not a state. That's a really good state for them because that means they barely need any more to win. Like they could get rid of all these tilt states and almost win. Like, might as well give Florida to the Republicans and Arizona. But, they'll keep Michigan, all these other states. And it'll still turn out this way. 'Cause Michigan, as of right now, looks like it's going Democrat. So, fill all these back in. And, so this is the end of the video. Like, subscribe. You skip to the end, here's another explanation. This map is not for any given candidate, it's how many Republicans and Democrats are in each given state. And how safe they are for the future and whatever, and just looking over these statistics. Sometimes made by people and sometimes made by polling data. But yeah, bye.